today it is about leadership, not titles, not authority, but the kind of leadership that actually makes people want to show up. Because if you've worked in retail long enough, you've experienced both the leaders who drained you and the ones who've motivated you. Welcome to Sorry It's Discontinued. I'm Hilary, a former luxury beauty manager, and this is a podcast about the reality of retail, the people who keep it going, and the brands and stores we all love. So today, we are breaking down what good leadership actually looks like in retail and why it's not about titles or control. Don't tell me what to do. Sorry. It's discontinued. A good store manager or department manager, business manager, account executive, you guys know they don't just manage people. You're managing energy and trust, potential, growth, ideas, creativity. So I started thinking, what makes a great leader a great leader? So I asked a few of my friends, why do you like certain managers more than others? What do they do that really impresses you, that makes the difference? Because we all love a difference, a positive one. So what great leaders are willing to do and why it matters. So, number one, very popular. They work with people's schedules so they can still have a life outside of work. This one is huge, more than most leaders realize, because they're focused on numbers. They're focused on goals. They're focused on business. But retail schedules, if you look at it in a different way, they don't just determine coverage. They actually determine the quality of life for your associates. And when leaders work with schedules instead of against people, it sends a really powerful message. You are human first and an employee second. I value you. I support what you need. People feel respected around their time. Like, okay, I can go do some things. They show up to work a lot less resentful. I know when I had a really amazing schedule, it's like, I can do this. I can do this. We're going to make it happen. They call out less. They stay longer. And they care more while they're there. When someone knows that they can attend a family event, they can rest when they need to, or simply breathe outside of work, they don't come to work depleted. Of course, we can have this conversation in January when hours are cut and everyone is tired and exhausted, but a little nervous about their paychecks. Another powerful leadership quality when they recognize and assign responsibilities based on real strengths. Not just job descriptions can be generic. They can be kind of basic, there's a list. But when you really get to know your team, great leaders pay attention. They pay attention to who naturally connects with customers, good social skills, who explains the products beautifully, who's good at training, someone who can close confidently. This was not my strong suit. I think, of course, now I'm probably supporting myself a little bit, but man, I would be around some people that could close like a son of a bitch. It was amazing. Everybody's like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it all. Let me go ahead, wrap it up. Let me get two. Makes a difference. Anyway, off track. Who stays calm during chaos? That's a big one. When you have a team that is busy and that can be kind of chaotic, you can have a lot of people coming to the counter at once. And you're basically holding a master class for like 10 customers who are all shopping for the same brand. That kind of person that can hold and keep the attention for the room. They stay calm during chaos. Or if there's a shitty return, customer's doing a return and they're kind of an asshole. And that associate who can stay calm during that experience, that's amazing. Someone also who notices details. They're detail oriented. They know and can see things, especially like organizing. Someone who can do that. So that makes all the difference when you have these bits and pieces and everybody's kind of a cog in a machine that just works well. And the account executive, the manager, the department manager, they notice these things and they see the strengths of their team and they pull on those strengths so each other can hold and lift each other up. It's magical. When people are placed where they naturally shine, their confidence will grow, mistakes decrease, and the team energy, it improves. Sales feel less forced. It's all very cohesive because forcing everyone to be good at everything, it does not build strong teams. It actually does the opposite. It builds burnout. Using people's strengths builds momentum. All right. Let's go to number 3. Leaders, when they ignore rules, that rules are clearly stupid, they're not helpful. I want to say this out loud. Not every rule was created with real life in mind. Some rules may protect systems, but not people. And strong leaders know the difference. This doesn't mean that you're reckless or you're careless. It actually means you're being very strategic. You're looking at what the end game is. And great leaders ask, does this rule help in the customer experience? Does it help the team perform better? Or does it just slow everything down? So when leaders are willing to bend unnecessary rules, stupid uniforms. When leaders are willing to bend unnecessary rules to support morale, creativity, or connection, they earn trust. And trust is worth a hell of a lot more than perfect compliance. Compliance can be so boring. Number 4, of course, we've all thought it. When you see a manager barking orders, telling people what to do, and they're not doing shit. They lead by example. A good leader leads by example. Nothing destroys morale faster than leaders who do not do what they expect others to do. Great leaders show up. They help when it's busy. They get their hands dirty. They're in there. They step in when things fall apart. They're there for support. They stay calm under pressure. No blame game. No, let's talk about it later and putting things off. They don't ask the team to do anything that they wouldn't do themselves. And people won't follow leaders like that. They actually will follow people who lead with good behavior. Now, for number 5, this came up. When a leader stays humble, but they're firm when they need to be, but they're always fair. This balance, it's everything. Humble leaders, they admit when they don't know something. They stay open to learning. They give credit where credit is due. They highlight the team. It's not, I did this, we did this, they did this. So great leaders, number 6, recognize effort and sacrifice. We all know retail is emotional labor. People, they show up tired. Be so tired. Everybody's so tired right now. They deal with rejection. I don't want your blotter card. Why are you handing me this? It's a free card. I just want you to smell the fragrance I'm showing today. Ugh. I don't want your basket. I'm literally giving you a basket just to use because you have a shit ton of stuff in your hands. It's not a big deal. It's just a basket. You use the basket. It's free. You've got so much stuff. You're going to drop all the things. I'm not trying to be pushy. take the basket. Okay. So yes, associates, they deal with rejection like I have dealt with. They manage difficult customers. They stay up late. They might miss things. And when a good leader acknowledges that effort, even if things aren't done the way that they want them to be done, but they can see the effort. They acknowledge the effort, even in small ways. It tells the people on their team, I see you. Recognition does not have to be big. A simple thank you, I appreciate you, a moment of appreciation, small incentive, because feeling invisible, like you're doing a job and no one sees what you're doing and how hard you're working, it can kill motivation. And feeling seen, man, that is extremely motivating. I like words of, what is it? Words of affirmation. I do. I love it when people are like, oh my God, Hilary, you did such a great time. I'm like, oh my God, thanks. I'm so excited. I think I can do it again. I'm going to try. It's just like, oh my God, I just love you so much. I just feel so thankful. It's really, it's just so nice. Number 7, when leaders listen fully, and they're listening and they're listening and they process before they react. I was not so great. Sometimes when I would get stressed or overwhelmed, I get overwhelmed sometimes. Well, you didn't know? Well, I know now. All right. When I would get overwhelmed, I would react before I would fully process what was happening. This is a big one. Really listening to what is happening, processing it. And if you have to take time and go and just process it separately and then come back to it, listening is huge. It's huge. Great leaders, they don't have to react emotionally in the moment. They can listen and they pause and they process. And when leaders listen without interrupting, defending, or dismissing, the worst, problems get solved much faster. Sometimes you just want to have your feelings validated, experience explained, and vent. It can also de-escalate conflict, and people feel more respected when they're listened to. Immediate reactions come from the ego, and the ego is so fucking exhausting. Thoughtful responses in high stress environments like retail, calm leadership, it changes everything. So these are not soft skills. They directly impact retention, sales, morale, the customer experience, long-term growth. You're building something. You're building this team to grow and support each other and love on your customers, get people to come back and just have a positive trajectory. And leadership, it's not about control. It's creating that environment where people can do their best work. So I have had a few not so great leaders in my career. I have bitched about them a couple times, a little bit, respectfully. But I've also had a few truly amazing ones. One leader in particular led with compassion and trust. She guided me in leading my team. And then she let me lead in my own way. She understood my goal wasn't control. It was culture. It was teamwork. It was creating a positive, loving environment that was welcoming for everybody. And sometimes when I would do things, she might look the other way, like when I brought in food and created a nacho bar, which is totally not okay in the area I worked at the time. But I did it and the customers loved it, especially the staff and the team. But we wanted to celebrate and we wanted to highlight, the brand and create really good energy. And it did. I loved creating small incentives with Gratis and she supported it. in ways, and this was a while ago, but there were things that I would do that, technically they were not by the book, but they were so good for morale, so good for the team. And she trusted my intention. And because of that trust, the team showed up, they cared, they worked hard. And, sadly, that kind of leadership, it doesn't happen often, but it really can create memorable experiences and great long-term growth. So I want to ask you this before we go. Have you ever worked for a leader like this? Have you ever worked for a great leader or someone who, saw your strengths, someone who trusted your intentions, they made you feel proud to show up? And if you are a leader, what kind of environment are you creating for your team? What is it like to work for you? Because being a leader is not easy. I know firsthand it was hard not to always take things personally and not to take on the weight of the team and wanting everybody to succeed and doing too much. And I have had a hard time asking for help, but that was something I learned to do. Probably could still do more than I did, but it really can be challenging to be a leader, but it can also be so, so wonderful and inspiring. So I want to thank you all for sitting with me on this little mini episode, which actually feels really long. But I really appreciate you guys. And I think people are shopping this week. Continue to support your local stores, support the people who are keeping them running, and they are tired. So be kind. Lead with kindness, whether you're behind the counter or in front of it. If you're in front of the counter and the coworker says, "I'm so sorry, I don't have it," just be kind. You can find something else. All right. I love you guys. Get some rest. Hope you're making lots of money, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for listening to Sorry It's Discontinued, where we honor the voices, stories of those who've lived life behind the counter in retail. If you've loved this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a fellow retail warrior. You can support the show at buymeacoffee.com/sorrypodcast, or you can leave me a message. It's sorryitsdiscontinued.com if there's anything you want me to talk about, or even be a guest on the show. Now, the views, opinions, and personal experiences shared on this podcast are my own and those of my guests. They do not reflect the views of any current or former employers, brands, or companies that may be mentioned. All stories are shared with care, honesty, and respect. Names, titles, or identifying details may be changed to protect privacy. Now, thank you for sitting with me today. I'm sending you lots of love, retail crew. Kindness is contagious. So spread your beautiful smiles, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Sorry. It's discontinued.